Hey, I hope everybody's having a great week thus far, or have had a good week. Um, all right, so this week we're going to be discussing the Fourth Amendment, arrest, search, and seizure, and that's what the Fourth Amendment has to do. I'll have a couple of videos that will be posted, the one that you're watching now, and then there will be another video that kind of gives you the historical background on the Fourth Amendment and arrest, search, and seizure issues. There will be a link in your module, and this link goes to a Police Mag article that I really like, and it gives you an overview of four really important cases that you need to know about in law enforcement. And I would like for you to read these. The cases that we're going to be talking about or they're going to be discussed are Terry versus Ohio, Mapp versus Ohio. Another one is Miranda versus Arizona, which is really a Fifth Amendment issue, but it kind of ties in with Fourth Amendment issues as well. What you're going to find when you talk about the Fourth Amendment, the Fifth Amendment, they kind of blend together, even though they are separate amendments. It has everything to do with how we do law enforcement or how we conduct ourselves in law enforcement. The other thing that I wanted to tell you is that as a police officer, every contact that you have with a citizen is going to have Fourth Amendment implications. That's why it's very important that you understand not just what the Fourth Amendment says, but what it means, and look at other court cases, especially Terry and then the Mapp case. I would like for you to read those. If you want to do some research on your own, that'll be fine. But these are essential to how we do our jobs in law enforcement. Also, the thing with Miranda, even though it's a Fifth Amendment issue, the Miranda case talks about once a person is arrested, when an interview is conducted, it's considered a custodial interview. Remember that word, custodial interview or custodial interrogation. A person has to be read their rights. Now, if a person is not under arrest, if you're having a casual encounter with a suspect or a subject on the street, it's 3 o'clock in the morning, they're walking around, and you just want to get out and find out what they're up to. Maybe there are some suspicious circumstances surrounding it, and as a police officer, you approach them, to find out, what it is that they're doing. You're perfectly fine with asking questions and things like that, keeping in mind that they're under no obligation to answer any questions to when you stop them. Under the Fourth Amendment, or I'm sorry, under the Fifth Amendment, when you make an arrest and you're doing a custodial interrogation, they can still claim their rights as far as remaining silent, not speaking to you, but requesting that they have an attorney present, things like that. One other thing I wanted to bring up to you, ladies and gentlemen, is the fact that if you're going to go into law enforcement, you have to be able to read, you have to be able to write, and I don't mean just your name. I mean you have to be able to articulate, you have to be able to explain and paint a picture of your actions with regard to a narrative in narrative form when you write reports and things like that. If you find that you are weak in that area, you can fix it. Okay, don't think, well, I struggle with being able to express myself on paper, so I can't go into law enforcement. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that is an issue that you may have to overcome. If you're already good at that, hey, you're in the bonus round. But there are certain ways that police officers write reports, and we'll get more into that a little bit later as we progress in the course. Once again, for this week, I would like for you to read this article, watch this video, and if you're watching this video now, and then there's going to be another video with the historical part about how the Fourth Amendment came into being, as far as becoming part of the Bill of Rights, who the author was, and things like that. And so on your discussion board, I would like for you to talk about the reading, the video, and your thoughts on it, and kind of put it in the framework or inside, looking at it through the lens of a police officer. All right. What you will be able to do if you are a police officer. Let's say that a police officer goes out on the street, she comes in contact with a suspect in a suspicious place at 3 o'clock in the morning. Look at it through her eyes. What are some things that she's going to have to take into consideration? not just the contact that she has with this particular citizen, but you also have to look at it with, with regard to officer safety concerns, things like that, which is pretty much spelled out in the Terry case. The thing about Terry versus Ohio is that particular case talks about stop and frisk, and to this day, police officers still call it a Terry stop, a Terry frisk, things like that. So that's what I want you to do this week. You're doing pretty well on your discussions. I'd like for you to continue not only to put comments about the readings, but comment on one another's findings. Have a discussion about it, and that's how we do this in a virtual classroom, especially when we're taking online courses. And I really want you to embrace that and get as much out of it as you can. Hey, I hope that you have a great week. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me. I've already had a couple of students that have contacted me via email. That's probably the best way. Or you can contact me on my office phone, which is 983-8671. And if you have any questions, just let me know and I'll be happy to answer those. I believe that's all I have. Once again, there has been a little bit of confusion on when you open the module up. You'll see the module when you open up the lessons page, but to get to the discussion board, or if I post any quizzes or anything like that in the future, you will have to actually click the link, click the link, which is the actual module title, and then the discussion will come up and the thread will already be provided there so you can go into your discussion. All right, I believe that's all I have for this week. Man, I hope you guys have a great week. If you have any questions or concerns, don't hesitate to contact me. You guys have a great week.